I'm talking to you guys. I'm trying to see what will be off.
Okay, I'm just assuming she's not talking to us. McLean, are you able to mute Rachel?
Let me mute her. Let's hold on. Rachel. Yeah.
Okay. So guys, people are not very responsive. They're on mute. I was just asking, could you type in the chat box? Of course, you're already seeing your name, but you could just say who you are and where you are.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, as we wait for others to join in. We are the early birds. We're expecting some people to join in 11 minutes and probably, yeah. So maybe we can start with McLean, where are you?
Hi everyone. I'm McLean. I'm hosting this event with the beautiful Rose. I'm from Uganda. Right now I'm in Kampala. We are hosting this from home indeed. So yeah, that's pretty much it about myself. Rose, you want to go next?
Okay. Yeah, I've been talking here.
Oh, for real?
So as you've heard, Rose, and I'm your co-host today, and I'm very happy to see you all. And I'm currently in the UK, but I'm from Uganda. And what else? I'm just excited to see you in the event and hoping that we all learn from this event and share and network. And yeah, so maybe I'll choose Aaron. Tin.
Hi everyone. As Rosa said, my name is Aaron. Some people call me Aaron, some people call me any name, so it's fine. I am currently in the UK, but I'm also from Uganda.
Welcome.
Happy to be here. Yeah. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
Do you wanna choose anyone you want to say?
Jonah? Jonah, can you hear me? Clarence, can you go next?
Yes, hello, thank you so much. This is Jonah Kiwago. I'm from Uganda, and I'm the co-founder of Opportunity Tracker. Glad to be here. Thank you, Martin and Rose and Aaron.
Wow, Jonah, your connection is not very.
Oh, I saw Jonah was celebrating verification, Twitter verification last week.
Yeah.
Right. Congratulations, Jonah.
Thank you. Yes.
Jonah, you have very bad connection. I don't know if, since you're going to present in the event, I think you need to work on your connection right now before you're done. Or just to counteract any potential issues, you can share what you're going to present with McLean, just in case your connection goes bad. She can go on and pick up, or another person can pick up. Okay. I don't know if Rachel, Reg, and Clarence are with us. Really, I can see them online, but I don't know if they're with us. They may have just put and then waiting for the time.
Yeah.
And we do that.
Yeah, I'm guilty.
I know.
Okay.
So if anyone is online and is hearing us, please say hi. McLean, did you send the reminders?
Did I send what?
The reminders.
Oh yeah, I had told Ayomide to do that because I was pretty engaged this morning. Yeah, he told me he would handle that.
Hmm.
Yep. Let's see.
Fanange waliwo internet webeere nnungi. So I hope tebampulira. Ukimanyi,
Tukuwulira.
oh my God, they are hearing me.
Maybe,
Oh my
maybe,
God.
maybe during the event we could all turn off our videos, right? To just
Yeah, absolutely. We need to turn on our videos. I have to take a screenshot for our social media. So yeah.
Yeah. Clarence, yes. Clarence is sending a text and thanks, Clarence. Sorry, thought maybe you could just put on your video and just say hi and then maybe put it off again. But thank you. Where are you, Best? And
Hi.
hi, Ruth.
Hi.
I saw that I was unmuted when I entered.
It's okay.
Thanks for warming us up.
It's okay.
Do you mind introducing yourself?
Hi, I'm Ruth. Ruth Nachayune.
Yes.
I'm an electrical engineer with UETCL.
Wow.
And I'm very happy to be here.
We are grateful to
Yay.
have you, and we're looking forward to so much fun and knowledge here.
Okay.
Hey, Catherine.
Catherine. Catherine, I see a Catherine here. Does she mind introducing herself? Catherine, Joshua, please introduce yourselves. Oh, Josh, oh.
Okay. So our people have gone on mute, and that's okay. That's great. And yeah, I think Catherine's in a noisy place, so I should just send a text. Okay, thanks, Catherine, for joining in. We hope the place clears a little bit and you're able to hear us, and it's great to have you today. And maybe if you could have just like mentioned where you are and maybe what you're doing, if that's okay. Oh my God. McLean,
Yes.
I can't even see that we can make any breakout rooms. I
Yeah.
think we're going to, unfortunately, I just don't know, maybe we just don't do breakout rooms, but I thought that would be really great to do them.
Yeah, like I tried looking for that setting and I couldn't like find it. So yeah.
I can't find it, but I think it's maybe too late now. It's too late now to do them. So let me see if Tina is joining in now, and
Okay.
Mary.
All right, you could be listening to something as we wait for everyone to join in. Walter, could you please mute yourself? I see Tina already on.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
trying to find it, send her a link.
Oh, she's already
That's
on.
what I was trying to.
She's
Okay,
already.
that's great.
She, Rose, are you
Okay.
able to take a
Hi.
screenshot on your computer?
I guess I will be able.
Okay.
Yeah,
At the
I
end.
guess.
Okay.
Hi, Tina. Tina is saying her camera is not very cooperative with her. Hi, Tina.
everyone.
Nice to have
Hi.
you today.
Happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Looking forward to the discussion.
Okay.
Yes, we are all looking forward, and thanks for joining. So we're just waiting in a few minutes. Many of the people here came in a bit early, the people who are on the call. So we're giving her just a few minutes to see others join.
I think we should give them 5 more minutes so that we can kickstart the meeting at 5 minutes past midday.
Okay, so they have 2 minutes to go.
Okay, yeah. Kevin, could you please mute yourself? Was that Kevin? Oh, okay. He's on mute.
McLean, I think there are people who are having trouble. I'm not really sure why.
Trouble joining?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, because it's asking some people that they are in the waiting room, but we don't have a waiting room. It's saying that some people.
How
Someone
is that?
sent me a screen. It's saying you join the call when someone lets you in.
I'm not even getting a notification to let them in. Are you getting?
No.
Okay. Wow. Okay, let's see.
I've asked her to please try again.
Could you please send her the link and probably the the ID and the password one more time.
Yeah.
Hi everyone joining in. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, Maclean, we can start, or others will join in.
Okay. Hi everyone. I hope everyone is doing
Hey,
all
Maclean.
right. I hope everyone is doing all right. I am very excited for this event. It's been a long time coming, and we're just here to learn. I'm also here to learn about this scholarship application process. We have guests who have attended Oxford University and different universities in the UK, been accepted for shaving. So we are very much excited to learn from them. I don't know, Rose, if you have anything to add on to that. You can take the floor.
Yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome to this event, and thanks, Maclean, for hosting us. And yeah, as Maclean has said, today's event is really going to be about hearing. We have a guest from the British High Commission, who is a chevening scholar, very seasoned PR. She's very great. She'll tell you who she is. I don't want to spoil it. She'll tell us about chevening, and I'm sure you know what chevening scholarship is, but she'll tell us what it is and how we can apply, or and what it takes, things like that. And then we shall also hear from some of the people who have been awarded like very prestigious scholarships. We have one from we have one chevener. We're expecting to have actually quite a number on the call today. So Mary and Joan are joining in today. So they'll be telling us on how what the experience is and what are those key things they look out for in applications, what made them stand out, and which universities they are in, any experience. And then you'll be able to ask them questions that you feel are helpful. And then you'll be able to interact with them. Then there's another one, Aaron, who was here in the call. He's here in the call already. He came in earlier, and some of you may have heard him talk. And he's from the University of Oxford. And then he'll tell us also about his scholarship and how he managed to get it and what he's studying, and to inspire us, because some of us get scared of applying for scholarship. We're like, oh, we won't get them. Or when they don't give us the scholarship, we're like, we give up. But we need to hear those encouragements and those key things that could help us in applying for international scholarships. So the initial program, we're supposed to go into breakout rooms and get to know each other. But I see there are a lot of technical issues with the breakout rooms. So many people have already introduced themselves, not very many, but if you've not yet introduced yourselves, I'm going to request you to type your name in the chat box. Just say hi and your name and where you are. Yeah, and let's get to know each other from that, from the chat box. And other than that, we're just waiting to see your introduction in the chat box. Then I have another question, and which I'm going to ask everyone here to participate in. It's quite weird, but it'll be great.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask everyone to take let's say like 5 seconds and type for us what your favorite movie is, whether movie, documentary, or anything. What is your favorite movie or documentary?
Let's get this chat going. I've just finished watching Money Heist right now, so definitely Money Heist.
Ooh. Okay. Tina says The Notebook.
Ooh.
Some of us need to be taking notes. Take notes.
I know. Recommendations for movies, right?
Yes. Then we have A Weekend Plot. Wow, these are very new. Mary, you're welcome. I can see you. Home Alone. Okay. Okay. I'm in what? I can't even pronounce that. Armageddon. I can't pronounce it. Home Alone. We're still waiting. Who doesn't love Titanic? Ooh, right. Who
Ooh, I
doesn't?
know. Nice.
Let me see. What is mine? Um, Let me
White
see. I don't know.
Tiger.
It's a weird one. Basic Instinct is mine. Thanks, Faith, for joining. The Generous Daughter. Cool. White Tiger. Aaron. Everything but a Maran. Okay.
Jonah.
Keep them coming. People, let's take notes. Let's take notes. We have weekend plot if you didn't have plot. If you didn't have where to go. Now we have where to do. Okay. Oh, acrimony. Yes, I've heard about it. I've had quite a lot of people love acrimony. Okay. Keep them coming. You're taking notes.
Think like a man.
Okay. So the next question is, I'll paste it in the chat. Okay, it's quite a. Oh, is it a weird one?
No, just put it there.
So, as a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Ooh.
And what are you now? Or what are you going to be? Okay, you can just say our doctor and you put like a hyphen and then put what you are now.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Lord of the Rings, yay. Oh, wow, Ruth. Great. You're still a teacher in a way. Engineers, that's great. Engineer. Oh my God, Kevin. Great. Thanks. Congratulations for starting on your dream. I don't even know what I wanted to be. Okay, let me see. Doctor, now a teacher. Thanks, Emmanuel. Thanks for teaching the nation. Thanks for teaching the world. Doctor, conservation biologist. Hey, Rhythmic. Great. You're still there.
I wanted to be royalty. Oh,
hey,
now she's
Princess Tina.
Oh, wow.
Accountants. You guys have great profiles. Oh my God, wanted to be a military convoy. Wow. But now I want to be an engineer driver. Great. That's great. Wow, I also fancy Tina as aspiration. engineer. Oh, Chiriga Gerard. Oh, well done. Hey, everyone. I'm Skida from Kenya. Thanks for joining in. You wanted to be a lawyer. Great. That's great. Faith wants to be a commissioner.
Yeah.
Okay, these are great profiles, and I'm sure you still. I think some of us actually wanted to be. What did I want to be? I don't even remember. I wanted to be like in TV and stuff, but here I am now.
You are.
I'm in climate and environment.
But probably
nutritionist. Now it's
ooh. Okay.
Yes, McLean, currently.
Yeah. So I was saying you wanted to be on TV. This could be the path. You never know. This right here.
This could be TV, right?
Yeah, this right here could be the path. Yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, thanks guys for collaborating, and I think I'm going to ask you to still go in the chat box and rate yourself from 1 on a scale of 1 to 5. What knowledge, how do you rate yourself in terms of, oh, I can't wait to read this. I'll just fast divert. I wanted to be a lawyer, currently a journalist. Yes, you're there. You're there.
Yeah.
Hi,
Idris.
Thank you, Idris, for joining. So I was saying, Yeah, I was saying that I'm going to ask you to go to your chat box and rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest, right? So rate your knowledge in terms of knowing about international scholarships on a scale of, or other international fellowships or other international opportunities on a scale of 1 to 5, rate yourself. If you know more about applications and know where to find opportunities, rate yourself 5. If you don't know a lot, put yourself there in the middle. If you know nothing, go to 1, 2. Just keep them coming.
The average is like 2 right now. Wow.
Keep them coming. Could you please mute Gabriel? McLean, please mute Gabriel.
Let's see.
Oh, Ruth.
Just hold on a minute.
Okay, so that's good to know. And McLean, you've not rated yourself. Can I rate myself? Let me see. Okay, I'll just say
3, maybe.
I'll just say, yeah, I'll just be there, but maybe not 3, maybe 4. I don't know. Okay, thanks for sharing that. And I think that information is really, really important. It's very important because it will help us to know where to do next. For example, that question takes us to McLean and Jonah to tell us about what Opportunity Tracker is. And as you may know, as you may have seen in the advert, so the registration link, this event is brought to you by Opportunity Tracker, and we would love to know what Opportunity Tracker is. So therefore, I'll hand over to McLean and Jonah to tell us what Opportunity Tracker is, or take us through.
Okay, thank you so much, Rose, and thank you so much for everyone who has made the time to join this event. So Opportunity Tracker is just, I'll just put it in 2 words, opportunities and you. So Opportunity Tracker is just bridging the gap between these global opportunities that you guys are not aware about, and then bringing them closer to your fingertips so that you are aware about of scholarships, fellowships, exchange programs. So in a nutshell, we are trying to make these opportunities as inclusive as possible, especially in emerging economies. I know London is not an emerging economy, but yeah. So we're trying to make sure that everyone is able to get a hold of this opportunity so that they can probably change their life and become, better people. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Jonah, could you probably add on to something? Jonah?
Well, thank you so much, McLean. My name is Jonah Kirabo, and I'm the co-founder of Opportunity Tracker. And basically, what Opportunity Tracker is, we are acting as a bridge between opportunity seekers and opportunity providers. We run a web-based platform where opportunity seekers can find opportunities of global, of both local and of both local and global benefits to them. We do share scholarships, we share jobs, we share internships, we share fellowships, exchange program, and our background is that there are a lot of opportunities that happen around us, but not so many of us get to know about them. So ours is act as a bridge so that people who want opportunities can easily find them.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. So Opportunity Tracker is bringing the opportunities right to your fingertips. And I think many of us actually don't actually recognize there's so many opportunities especially for, I'm going to say people in African countries, but I know we have audience right here on the call that are from African audience or from not from emerging economies, but there are quite a lot of opportunities for people from African countries, from Asia, from a lot of like many of the emerging and least developed countries. And fortunately, some of us don't know about these opportunities. And so what Opportunity Tracker does is that it puts in the effort, it goes out there and looks and compiles those opportunities and bring them into one point. So if you just go on that website, you see different opportunities from the Chevening Scholarship, from very many scholarships, from sustainability and climate change, our fellowships and everything. So yeah, so if you just follow that website, I think Maclean, you could also share the link to the Twitter, follow on Twitter. You keep seeing a lot of updates coming through. And I think Jonah will also mention that Opportunity Tracker is planning to actually develop a bit more and also start providing kind of like career guidance and support in terms of like looking for opportunities and jobs and scholarships and applying and trying to, build the capacity of the young people and the old people across the continents. Okay, so that drives us to the next program on the agenda, and I think we'll move in forward, and we are going to hear from the one and only Tina, our princess today, at least, even if she didn't become a reality today, she's our reality. Tina Wamala. I'll let her introduce herself. And Tina, you're very welcome. And before actually Tina comes in, I want everyone to warm up because I don't want us to be dormant because we're going to hear from from the lion's mouth on what Chevening Scholarship is. And if you miss this opportunity to ask her, I think as she's speaking, make sure you record any questions you have about Chevening Scholarship. And if you miss asking her that question today, I don't think you get a chance. I mean, of course, you can reach out to her. I think she'll tell you how to reach out to her. But I think this is a great opportunity to ask her live rather than emails and stuff. So as she talks, please compile your questions, and Tina, over to you.
Thank you so much, Maclean and Rose, for that wonderful introduction. Let me apologize for my video. My laptop is acting up, but hopefully you hear me. The most important thing is what I have to say, not how I look. And yes, Princess Tina, I take it. Ironically, my family called me princess. Ironically, my calls me princess because they always knew from childhood I wanted to be a princess. So it's kind of a nickname in my family. So thank you so much once again for inviting me for this incredible session, for this session about learning, insights, just understanding the scholarship programs available to everyone on this call. And I'm really, really excited to be talking to you today about the Chevening Scholarship Program. I'm the Chevening officer based at the British High Commission, Kampala. I'm a communications specialist as well, with over 10 years working experience in the media, in the private sector, and now with the UK government. And I manage the Chevening program in Uganda, manage prospective applicants, ones on the call today. I manage scholars, and I also manage the Chevening alumni within the country. So I'm really excited again.
Oh, she's off. Is she off?
I think she dropped.
Okay.
Let's give it just a few seconds. Let me just chat with her.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I think it's mostly an issue with her internet.
I think she's okay. So you guys can be posting in your questions if you have any, or you can just note them down. You can be thinking about them, what you want to ask her as we get her on board. Yomide, I would kindly request you to mute yourself. Oh, he didn't introduce
Yeah,
himself.
I think her internet dropped off. I can't even get her on one.
Could you send
She's
me her
back.
number? She's back. Okay, fine. Okay.
Hey, Tina. Hey, Tina, are you there? No, I can't see her.
I can't.
I don't think
She's back.
Okay.
Could you send me her number? I call her on my phone.
Yeah.
We're sorry, guys. We're trying to get Tina back on the meeting. Just be patient with us.
I'm sending you on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Hey, Tina, if you can hear us, please just let us know what's happening. Yeah, I think her internet dropped off. So let's try and reach out and see.
Yeah, I've called her. She's reconnecting on her laptop.
Oh, is that what she's saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But I think her network is still a problem because if her WhatsApp can't, because I've sent her a message, she hasn't received the WhatsApp message yet.
Oh, wow.
Because it doesn't show any ticks, it just shows one tick. So it's probably her network still has a big problem, and I don't think she's gonna connect anytime. So we should give it just like 2 minutes. If she hasn't connected by then we can maybe first skip and go to something different, and then when she's able to join in, she'll continue from there, from where she stopped.
Okay, I just wanted to ask our participants their expectations from this event. They probably type them in the chat and read through and see if we're able to go around those.
Yeah, I think actually, yeah, that's a great thing if they can, because they already like gave the expectations in the questionnaire. I mean, yeah, registering. I think they can actually say what they want the speakers to address, because those of you who have come in a bit late, we have 3 speakers today, and if there's something you want the speakers to address, please you can let us know. You can send a private DM, or you can post in the chat box if there's something you want the speakers to address today. So meanwhile, I can. Maria's in the call. So is she back?
No, she's not yet.
There are high chances that her internet has run out and she may not be knowing, because the WhatsApp shows she hasn't received the messages. And do you wanna call her a little bit?
Okay. So people are going.
We can concentrate on getting Tina. Meanwhile, Jonah could try and answer some of these questions. For example, the one who has said that tried always to apply for scholarships on Opportunity Tracker website, but I don't even get a chance to fill in anything. Wow. Okay.
Hold on. Sorry. Just hold on. Oh my God. Yeah. Jonah? Is Jonah on the call?
Yes, hello. Yes, thank you so much. I've read the message from Gabriel saying he cannot apply for anything on the platform. So I'm just asking, I just want him to expound more on what he just said so that we get to know exactly why he can't apply for anything. Is it an error on the website? I would like to know more on how and why he's not able to apply.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess what we're gonna do as someone tries to respond to Jonah's question, I think, yeah, I agree. I think we're going to go on with the program because I think we are unfortunately able to connect to Tina, but I think she'll be sorting out the issue very soon. I guess McLean, I don't know if you've tried to call her again. You could try and like note that maybe it's her internet that has run out, her broadband that has run out to maybe load more. I don't know. Meanwhile, I'll just go on with the program and in the interest of time, as Clarence has mentioned. So I think right now, as people keep putting their questions in the chat box, I'm going to invite, I had wanted that person, Mary, to speak just after Tina speaks. So, but I think we're going to hear from Mary, who is a Chavener, who is currently studying at the University of Newcastle and here in the UK. And she's one of the people who won the Chevening Scholarship. Mary, you're very welcome. Please introduce yourself, and then I'll go straight into asking you a few questions. And Well, McLean and Jonah will be compiling the questions in the chat box. Mary, you're very welcome, and tell us who you are and what you're doing. Then I'll dive into the questions.
All right, thank you, Rose. Thank you for the brief introduction. I am glad to be here. I don't know if you guys know Joanne. She's a Ugandan Chevening scholar from who we're studying with in Newcastle, and she couldn't make it. Unfortunately, got sick, and I'm happy to take over and help out with the questions she had to answer on the Chevening Scholarship. So my name is Mary Abungu. I am a Kenyan from Newcastle, studying at Newcastle University. I'm doing transport engineering, planning and management. And I am here for your Chevening questions. So I'll get to the ones Rose has, and then I'll be happy to answer the rest.
Okay, so I'll go straight by asking a very basic question, because I mean, why did you choose to study in the UK or study abroad? Why didn't you study in the University of Nairobi or anywhere for your
Everybody wants change, you know. I don't know about everybody else, but in Kenya, there's a saying we have that say in Swahili. It says, "Utembea ndo kujua mingi, tembea mingi ndo kujua mingi," something like that. Yeah. It's translating it. It goes, the more you travel, the more you know. And if you're someone who loves traveling, you've always picked up a few things from everywhere you've gone. So I wanted something different. I wanted to travel abroad, get to see what everyone is interested in out in the West, and learn a few things, pick up on so many other things that there are to offer out here. And I looked at very many scholarships, and Chevening was one of them. And fortunately, I was selected for it, and yeah, maybe your next questions can
Yes.
answer the process. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I mean, I really agree with traveling and seeing how different cultures are, and the education systems and learning in a different universe, in a different environment is very, very one of very important in terms of like going out there and seeing what is out there. So, so my next question is that, so you are now a Chevening scholar, and but how did you find out about Chevening, and what did you find about it, and what are those tools that you used to actually find it? Was there someone who you knew, or you know, so how did you find out the scholarship?
Well, the Chevening scholarship is quite famous, if I may say. Yeah, it's well known. It's a prestigious scholarship, and I think if you're someone who wants to further their studies with the international community, you probably know about Chevening or Commonwealth. Yeah, so I already knew about it even when I was still in uni, and it didn't take long to find out how to apply. I just had to search online the Chevening scholarship, and I got it. But I knew quite a number of people that were applying as well, so also that came in handy.
Yeah, thanks, Mary, and that is like so great because some people, I would say, from the Ugandan perspective, people say if you don't have connections, you won't do anything. But the international scholarships are not like that. They're
not.
They're based on merit. Anyone can apply. They don't
also
really
have that
care.
with the connections. Yes, we also have that. But yeah, thankfully this is a free and fair.
Exactly. So, and that is why I was asking, the question, like, did you know anyone? It's just about getting the application right and pitching yourself out there. Okay. Then I'm moving to ask another question, like, how many times did you apply, or how many scholarships did you apply for to actually get this one?
I applied for loads of scholarships, and I kept getting rejection after rejection. But fortunately, I didn't apply for the Chevening scholarship. Sorry? Oh.
Sorry. Could you, Macklin, please help and mute those people? Frank Samata. Yes. Sorry, Mary, please go on.
It's all right, yeah. I didn't apply for Chevening because it had a long process which required effort, and I needed to be mentally prepared for it, because I knew if I had applied just the way I was applying for other scholarships, I would have gotten rejected. So I did apply for other scholarships, like the Australian scholarship. There were others in Canada. I didn't apply for any in the UK, but when I eventually made up my mind, I chose Chevening and I applied for it. Yeah.
Wow, that's a great story. I'll just share my story just also there. Is that when you're looking, okay, personally, I'm currently in the UK and I did my master's at the University of Oxford. I think I applied for 3 scholarships. Chevening they didn't give me, they threw me aside. But I was lucky enough, I got 2 other scholarships. I got the Commonwealth one and I got another one called Felix Scholarship. Then I had to like reject one and accept one. But what I was doing when I was applying, I looked broad, just like how Mary's saying. Don't just focus, let's say, in one country or one scholarship. Just widen your base and for the things you want. If one comes through, you go for it. So I think Mary has given us a big lesson there. There are rejections. And Mary, how did you handle rejections? So that should probably be another question, because sometimes when you get rejected, you get so demotivated, like, oh, I don't deserve it. They don't like me. I'm not good enough. So how do you handle rejection?
Initially, they were painful. No one loves being rejected by anything or anyone. But I actually didn't get rejected for the Chevening scholarship. for all the other scholarships, I got rejected. But for the first time I applied with Shilling, I got the scholarship, and I thought I was the smartest person in the world. But it really felt good, yeah, to be accepted for the first time. But I would say that it was a lot of effort that I had to put in. And I can add on to luck. Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes you'd think that you have all it takes. You've got your grades up in the air, you have your first class, and everything is working out for you. You have your experience, but still don't get accepted. There's a lot that goes into the application of the Shivling scholarship, and I would say that rejection will always be there, but don't look at it as a roadblock that stops you from going forward. In fact, look at it as a challenge. Now this has happened. I've been rejected. I'm going to apply again. I know Shivling scholars that have applied 5 times. Yeah. And I can say that takes courage, and who knows? You applied the first time, you didn't get it. You applied the second time, you give up. Maybe your time was the 3rd or the 4th time. Yeah. So it's always a challenge that you should look at it as that. And yeah, rejection is painful, but don't take it as it is.
So there are some nuances, there's some sort of things you mentioned. Why am I hearing myself? Okay, sorry. There's some sort of things you mentioned in there, having to prepare your mind to apply for.
Sorry, you're on mute.
I don't know how the mute came in, but I don't know if you missed anything. But I was just saying that you said you're preparing your mind to apply for Chevening, and I'm just wondering, what are those key improvements that you did that made you stand out for Chevening and ensure that you were not rejected this time? What are those key things? Let's say when you're writing a cover letter, or sometimes they ask for written work, written research, or whatever.
Yeah.
What are those key things? I think you've already hinted on the performance. Having a first class, we really push.
I wouldn't say that having a first class is the key to getting a Chevening scholarship. Actually, I did not get a first class. I didn't even get a second class upper. I got a second class lower, surprisingly. And
that's great, because you've answered someone's question here.
Yes, I got a second class lower, and one of the first things I was told as I was applying was, don't apply, you don't qualify. That's the cutoff point. They take people who have a second class up and above. But what I thought when I was applying was, I didn't look at this as another application for a scholarship or just to do my master's, because I really wanted to do my master's. I looked at it as an interview into a prestigious community that Chevening is. So what I would advise people to do is focus on their essays. You can have the best of the grades. Like I said, you can have a first class, you can be the best student, you can have a working period of years of maybe 5 years, and you fit the categories, but your aces tell your story better than any other thing. You know, Chevening doesn't know who you are. They don't know what you've done, but the only way they can relate with you is through your aces. So that's where I put most of my effort. I spoke to previous Chevening scholars that had applied and got rejected, and they told me, oh, you won't get through. Yeah, I got a first class and I didn't get through.
Sorry, you've muted, Mary.
Sorry, I was muting someone else. Please go ahead, Mary.
I think, Max, you can go to the person and person's name and mute them. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was saying I spoke to some previous Chevening applicants that got rejected, and they told me that they applied with a first class, and that's the cutoff point, and I won't make it. But I thought that if these people really want to know who I am and they really want to know what I've done, that is the only way I can get through them, through my ACEs. So I would advise you to put your effort in your ACEs, because this is you're selling yourself. Yeah. And that's the first thing I think they read. I'm not sure what they do initially, but I think they go through the essays and get to know if you have the skills they require to get you in. So I guess that was my selling point for me.
So I think as we hold in there, I'm going to invite Aaron, and we can make it like a more conversational between these two people. So Aaron Ashdar is a student at the University of Oxford, and Tina is back.
Yay!
Tina, you're welcome. Tina, are you? Oh, she ran away again.
Yeah, I can't find her in the participants. She's off.
Okay.
So I think Aaron can go.
Yeah, I think we can meanwhile continue until she's able to get on well. So I was saying Aaron is he a prince? He's a prince of water. He works in water. He's a water scientist. He's a water everything. Aaron is a student at the University of Oxford, and he's a scholar. He'll tell us what his scholarship is, and then I think I'm trying to see how we can get both information than having Mary and Aaron speak separately. So I'll be like sending questions and mentioning, Aaron, tell us about this, so we can see how the experiences, if they match or if they differ, something like that. So Aaron, please introduce yourself, and then I'll dip into the questions with Mary. And Mary's story is very, very, I love her story. And I'm just going to, I'm also thinking about a question that matches with her story already. So Aaron, please introduce yourself, and we dip in.
Okay, as Rosa said, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining this call. Just going to share what I feel like, what I feel, but not the thing that they maybe some scholarships will want. So Aaron Achuda at the University of Oxford, studying for MSc in Water Science Policy and Management. Yeah, so thanks for having me again.
Okay. So I'm going to still I'll first follow up with Mary, and then I'll come to you just for you to answer a question that relates to Mary's story. So Mary, you talked about people adding a lot of effort into writing their essays and sharing their stories. Do you mean that in those essays we should go a bit personal and tell our personal stories and why we want a scholarship and what we want to do with the skills and knowledge that we get? What do you mean by telling your story in the essay? And what are those things that people should put in the essay, or those key things that they should write about in their essay to sell out?
Yeah, well, you don't need to get too personal and say, oh, please give me the scholarship and all, but it's look at it as an interview and be as relevant as possible. If they're asking about, for example, the leadership essay, there are different essays. There's one on the career, there's one on career, there's one on leadership, there's one on influence, and there's one on networking. The title is everything. They want to know how you're a leader. So speak about your leadership experiences. Yeah. I'll give an example with mine. I didn't have much. I wasn't very involved with leadership activities back home, but the little that I did, the little leadership opportunities that I experienced, I expressed them to prove that I am a born leader. That's what they want to see. They want to see that if they give you this scholarship, Chevening actually looks at you and says, what are we giving you this scholarship just to put a master's to your name, or are we giving you this scholarship to make a change? So you have to prove to them that you're someone who can make a change. So if you want to write an essay about leadership, you have to show that you have done something to do with leadership, or you're a leader. What have you done? Which groups have you led? It doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be within your school group, You can talk about something as small as taking the lead, being in charge, being a class representative, being the person who raises issues. That's a leader, you know, talking on behalf of others. Sorry, I just get a bit passionate when I talk about.
We love that passion. We want to
Yeah.
see that passion, and we really love your story. And I think
I don't want to take all the time.
No, I can just add in a little bit that you're very right, because I think something I've learned is that we don't usually speak about the good things we do because we undermine them. We're like, oh, that was so small. But what I've learned here being in the UK is that someone just does something small, just leads a group, a discussion group in a class, and then they talk about it with passion. They're like, I led this group. Oh, we finished and everyone was happy about our presentation. But for us, we're like, that's not really leadership, but that is like, you need to still yourself in these small things. They're not actually small things. So let's say leading a class in, you know, in anything, it's not a small thing. There are a lot of skills that you learn. So I'll move to Aaron. Aaron, what is your story in terms of like, how did you come to apply for the scholarship that you are having right now? And what are those key points that made you stand up for your scholarship?
Okay, thank you, Rose, and thank you, Mary, for giving us the very valuable insights. Actually, I'm just going to build on some of the things that are applicable for any scholarships that you're going to apply for, the essays and everything. So thinking about scholarships was like when I was graduating, finishing actually my course in Makerere. And then I started saying, now, what will I do with my life? I have to look for something to maybe to get a better opportunity. So I think it was in 2018, I applied for the Rhodes Scholarship. That one was like a learning process because I remember the Rhodes Trust came to Makerere, then they told people about the scholarship and they said it's only one spot for East Africa. Everyone walked away, but I said, no, for me, I'm just interested in going to Rwanda to go and do the interview, but I don't want a scholarship. So I applied for it and yes, I was shortlisted. And it's just like achieving. It takes a lot of effort for you to apply for it, for you to get the references, the 6 referees that they need. That's a hassle. So I applied for it, and it was just a learning process for me. But I did get it at the end. I went back home. Of course, I worked 1 year, and I again. That time Rose had already come to Oxford and I said, okay, maybe I'll also give it a try again this year. So I looked at Chevening application, looked at some few applications, just developed my essays for those, answering those questions, just trying to try my writing skills. And yes, and I wrote my personal statement and everything for Oxford University. So there are some key things that really matter. People will always want to admit those who know what they will add to the field that they're going to study. They don't just want to admit anyone, like Mary said, even though you have got a first class, even though you are the brightest, even though you are the most loved, that one will not matter so much when they're selecting you for your scholarship. They will need someone who will add value to the field that you're going. You have really to know what you are going to do. Those are some of the mistakes that I made while I was applying for scholarships earlier on. I could just like wait, see an opportunity, then go throw my application there. That one will never work. There's some article that I shared on my Twitter page. Maybe I'll just copy on the link and put in the chat. It's really good guidance for you. You can read the tips for applying for postgrad study when you want to. It gives a very good guidance. So like Mary said, do not focus on your essay. Focus on your essay. And I repeat, focus on your essay. Take time writing that essay. Don't just write it like once and then you submit it there and then. That will never work. You have to write it the first time. First go and, like Chevening gives like, I think 3 months application window, 1 month. I'm not sure about that. But other scholarships like the Rhodes or gives like maybe 1 month, 2 months. So you have to first write what you want to do, know what you want to do, make research. In Uganda, there's this thing that they say, make research. You have to make a research for what you really want to study, write something, and then you go and sleep and first forget about it for a week. Then the next time, read it again, start writing afresh. You have to write over and over again for like 10 times. By that, you'll be discovering yourself and building a coherent essay. Also, there's one thing that also helps a lot, reaching out to people. Reach out to people. There are these people in these universities that maybe if you're interested in Newcastle University, there's Mary there. I can just search the courses within Newcastle University. So then I go to the students list and I will find, oh, Mary is there. Then I will send her maybe a LinkedIn connection. And if you're reaching out to people, be specific about what you need. People are busy. People are just helping you and you're not paying them. So you must be very specific about what you need. And some people reach and then they reach out and then they forget to thank the people that helped them. So it's not just about saying, oh, how are you doing? How is the UK? How are you finding life there? Those are things that someone may not respond to you. Say, I'm from someone from maybe Kampala and I'm very interested in this scholarship. This is what I want to do. Even the professors are really very willing to help you. When you reach out to, for example, in Oxford here, what I've realized is that most people come maybe for DPhils, for PhD courses, they reach out to professors directly, but with a clear thing, when they have really made research, when they have understood what those people do, and they know the weaknesses, they know the gaps that they can fill in based on their experiences and the courses that they study. I think I can first stop there. I'm talking a lot.
No, Aaron, I mean, these are all great things, what we want to hear, really. Why are we here? Those are things we want to hear. And I think you've actually talked about most of the key things. I don't know if Maclean has something to say on that. Maclean, do you want to say anything on Aaron's story?
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, I'm also here to learn because I applied for the Rhodes Scholarship last year and I got rejected. So I got really depressed. Mary talked about how to handle rejection. I always thought you're supposed to ace everything. So when Mary talked about like, this is not the last thing, just keep on going and going and going. So the Rhodes Scholarship this year I've applied. I'm hoping for the best. And yeah, I'm just very curious. How do you, this question goes for both Mary and Aaron, because I believe the participants here would like to know the same question. Myself would like to know the same question. How do you identify your references? This is like for the Rhodes Scholarship, I think they ask for 6 references. How are you going to identify all those people and know these people have my back? Like, this is the person who's going to back me up. How do you identify those people mentally, and how do you get that organization in order?
Do you want me to take this, Aaron?
Mary,
all right. I don't know about the Rhodes Scholarship. Maybe you'll have to clarify what that is because I'm from Kenya, so I don't think we have that. But I'll speak on chevening. So I don't know how it is in Uganda, but in Kenya, our lecturers do not help you write your references. You will never get them, you know. You'll never get your lecturers. Your boss will not give you a reference if he knows you're about to leave. So it can be hectic. What I would advise is that's why chevening gives you 3 months. It's 3 months, right?
Yeah.
Or I think it's 2 months. I'm not sure. It gives you such a long time. So you go through the requirements, look at exactly what they have. One thing I mentioned was that be as relevant as possible. So if they need a reference, they say they need, I guess, 1 referee from the university, academic referee, and also professional referee. So.
Oh, sorry guys, let me mute that person. Hold on. Oh, they're unmuted now.
Oh, I thought you did question. Yeah. So they need an academic referee.
if you made me a host, I could co-host. I could try to help you up with muting those people.
Okay.
Sorry, Mary.
Yeah, it's all right. So they need an academic referee and they also need a professional referee. What I did is that I did not go to my boss because my boss will not want to to let me go at the time. You know, they'll want it to work and not look for other prospects. So I went to a colleague who was more senior than I was, who knew me better, who knew the work that I had. I don't think chevening is biased in a way that it says that your employer, boss should get your reference. They just need a professional reference, someone who you've worked with, someone that can vouch for you, someone that understands that your skills are what you say they are, you know, and do it in advance and get a reference and address it to chevening. Like I got mine and I addressed it to the British Council in Kenya. That's to show that I am writing to them, to let them know that this is a reference, yeah, for me for that scholarship. It's not a general reference. Most of us have general referees, you know, who give us general reference letters that you can deposit anywhere, but it doesn't show your intent. So write a reference letter that describes your skills and your skills and your knowledge and everything that's needed for the chevening scholarship. If the chevening scholarship talks about leadership, talks about networking, influencing, those are things that you should also include in your reference letters. So your referee should say she's a leader and give examples on what you've done, not just a general reference letter that says, you know, she's a leader, she works hard, she's punctual, she, you know, things like that are general. They don't tell your story like I had initially said. So yeah, that's all I have on the reference letters.
Okay. Just
maybe.
Please go ahead, Aaron, if you have anything to add.
Okay, sorry. Maybe about about the references. Just get people who know you better that are able to give you the references in the shortest time. For example, in my former department at Makerere, there are people who are known, some lecturers who are loved by all students, but they are not able. They will never take the time to give you the references. You keep on texting them, sending them emails, but they never respond. So you should get someone who really they always say that get someone who is not known so well, but someone who knows you so well. And that's the key to getting the referees. The referees can really be also a barrier for you to get scholarships. So you must build connections with them, start letting them know, I'm going to apply for multiple opportunities. Please, from the start, let them know from the start that I'm going to apply for multiple opportunities. And please, if I reach out to you, help me and recommend me. And that's it. And they can do. So you make sure you have to build those connections. Like Mary said, also don't go to your boss. I tried with my boss for one scholarship. He didn't submit the reference, and yet we were good friends. We used to take tea together, but he didn't submit. He didn't submit it, and I ended up losing that scholarship. So be careful about that. You can get a colleague from another organization, someone you have worked with, like Mary said. Some people always do not want others to progress. So you also have to be careful about that, especially in the African context.
Okay. Right.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to McLean.
Yes.
I should have sent you a message, but I think it didn't come. So I was just trying to see, because we can speak about this forever. There are a lot of things that we need to answer. There are a lot of questions there. But I was thinking maybe we bring in Tina back. And then she says something, and then we can go back to the conversation. Otherwise, we may miss her very important contribution.
All right.
Sorry, and Mary, we shall get back. Let's first hear what Tina has to tell us about Chevening Scholarship.
Thank you so much, and everyone. And once again, apologies. I'm having technical glitches today. It's the worst day ever. I hope you can hear me. I would like to backtrack a little bit because I've heard what Mary and Aaron have said about the scholarship, and they're absolutely right. But I want to speak a little bit about the benefit of chevening. just so that you understand the context and perspective of what the scholarship actually means. So Shivning is the UK government's flagship scholarship program that began in 1983 and offers a one-year master's scholarship at any of the UK's prestigious universities. And the ultimate goal of Shivning is to discover and support future global leaders. So the kind of caliber of the Shivning scholarship people that the Shivning program has are presidents, MPs, directors, founders of NGOs, civil society, you name it, people who are highly accomplished and revered in their respective spheres. Shivning is one of the most equitable scholarship programs you will find in the world. It doesn't discriminate on age. It doesn't discriminate on your background or your class. It doesn't discriminate on your profession. Shivning is accepting and inclusive of everyone, regardless of who you are and where you want to be. The scholarship.
Sorry, Mary, could you mute, please?
Tina.
Tina, please go on. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with connection. Hi, Tina, can you hear us? Please, people, I'm sorry, if you're not speaking, please mute yourself, only unmute when we ask you to a question to respond or anything. Please stay on mute unless otherwise. All right, so it looks like Tina kind of dropped out. So I can just be responding as McLean tries to find out what is happening with Tina. I can just respond to one of the questions where someone's talking about I don't even know, I was already typing about it, about the English test. I think scholarships require you to
Ayomide, could you please mute?
Yep. McLean, just mute all of us, then I will unmute myself.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so please try and follow up on Tina and see what's happening, as I could just be going through some of the questions, or so maybe Aaron, do you want to pick up on that question of, is there any question you want to pick up in the chat box meanwhile?
I'm just trying to look for them. So one person asked about whether they can apply for. Yes, so another thing also I want to say is that when you're applying for a scholarship, you must know the scholarship you're applying for. Don't just have to submit your application. You have to take time studying the course and the scholarship also, so that you know all the requirements that are involved. Most universities in the UK and that I know, they have the guidance to applicants, like they put step-by-step guidance, and sometimes it can be a lot of information. So you must take time and read them. So that's a question from well, it's sorry, I'm just 1 second. Okay, this is from Ishan. Ishan is saying that he's in his final year. Maybe, yeah, like there, I don't know about Chifning, but some people apply for scholarships before even completing their course, with the expectation that they will get their results before, because the course you first apply for, and then you get a conditional offer that requires you to meet some conditions, for example, academic, transcript, maybe referees, maybe other things. That one you can submit it like later. So just read the information on the scholarship. Maybe the chief nurse will be able to answer them well. Meanwhile, Mary, if you see another question that you can answer, you just go.
I can add on to the question you were answering on work experience, right? So asking if you should have finished school. So chevening usually requires that you have at least 2 years of work experience. A lot of people say, oh, I have to graduate fast to finish. But if you are thinking like a chevener or someone who wants to get the chevening scholarship, you can put in your internships during your university time. That also counts towards your working experience. So if you did an accumulated amount of work that can even lead up to a year during uni, then you can include that as your work experience. Like, do what it takes to get there. And then I saw someone else, I think, raise a question on talk about the stamp on the reference letters. If you can make it as legit as possible, then why not? Yeah, because we all know that there's always the uncertainty that the reference letter you show could not be legit, And so if you feel that you've made your application and you're confident enough that you've done everything, and having a stamp on your reference letter is one of them, then what's stopping you from doing it? It won't cost you a lot of money. It won't cost you time, but I'm not sure. Maybe Tina can answer that, because I don't know about the skimming process that they have to do while they're going through your letters. So I'll leave that to Tina. But for me, I had mine stamped. Yes, I took the office stamp and stamped it myself.
Yeah, I think the other thing that helps is like if your referee writes the letter on a headed paper, like with company details, it makes it much official. So there are quite a lot of questions. I know Tina has dropped off. We can't get her, so sorry. We can't get her, and I think she'll be back soon, but the time is also moving very fast. There's an answer a question in the need for English proficiency tests. Can anyone take up that? Personally, if I can answer on a personal basis, I didn't, of course, many UK universities and scholarships require that test, but the thing is that it does depend on how you present yourself. I remember we had a chat with Aaron about that. He also asked me the same question when he was applying. And for me, what I did is I wrote in a letter and told them, I've studied English for all my life. So I don't have money to actually afford the English test and made it official, but a bit also personal, and also try to, you can't just say, oh, I've studied English and worked in office where we speak English as the main language, and then, but your grammar is actually showing something different. So you have to, so I wrote that later, and then I was just like, something like, oh, then you don't need to do the test. And so I think what I've learned as a person is that many things require you to go beyond, to think beyond the box and reach out to people, and then
to make that extra effort. Right. Yeah. Sorry, go Aaron.
No, go ahead. Maybe you're answering.
And I was just adding on to like the English test. Well, chevening does require to have an English test done. It's only recently that they scrapped it off the requirements because of the COVID-19 situation. Yeah, but with the universities, you just have to inquire. Newcastle University indicated that they needed one, but after I sent in my documents and everything and asked about the reference letter, later on it wasn't compulsory. It was a requirement, but after my application, it wasn't compulsory. So this is, you guys are Ugandans, right? Your English is good. So yeah.
We have quite a bit of people from different countries on the call today. We have from Malaysia, Pakistan.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
But it's still okay. Yeah.
I have one question for you guys, Aaron and Mary.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I've been, uh, I'm just assuming I've been given this scholarship. I have a nice job. I have to leave my job, go to the UK to, do my master's. What's the plan? What's the financial plan? Where am I going to feed from? Give me your plan. What do you advise someone like me to do in this kind of position? I'll go with Aaron first.
Come to the UK, do your scholarships, go back to your job,
What am I
do your
eating?
master's.
What am I feeding on?
Okay, I think most scholarships actually give you very good living allowance, substantial, some money that sometimes may scare you. So you'll not suffer in the UK
You're
when you
not
have a
starved.
scholarship. Because first of all, for you to get that full admission, full everything, then you have to really know that you have to show that you have met the financial conditions. You are able to take care of yourself yourself in the UK. And the road scholarship you're applying for and others, they give good money, so you don't have to worry about that. If a scholarship says that we are going to give you maybe 15,000 or 10,000 or 5,000, that's good money to help you survive. Once you're admitted, once you get a scholarship, you can always talk to them about your challenges. Then they can always help respond. Can I take one question that I've seen here that is really, I think most people have that.
Please go
Most
ahead.
people, when people are reaching out to my friends or I, they ask for, can you share with me your personal statement? Or can you share with me your system? Remember, it's a personal statement.
Exactly. Personal.
Remember, it's a personal statement. That's the first mistake you'll ever make, to reach out to someone, then you ask for that. Most people will share, some people will share, but others will just blue take you or will just say your message, email, and maybe mark it as spam.
Let me share my story there, Aaron. I think, we've talked about that, but I think there's a mistake I made. Someone really pushed me, share. I decided to share, and I learned a lesson. What they did is that they copied everything I wrote to themselves. I was like, this is the last time I ever share any of my documents with anyone, because it's a personal statement. It needs to speak about you. It doesn't need it. So that is why someone sharing you the personal statement may be a very bad idea. I think there are quite a lot of resources online. You can just Google how to write a personal statement. Don't copy the words that people are putting in the samples. You can just pick out, what did this person talk about? They talked about why maybe they need to do a scholarship. Okay, they talked about why they will do after the scholarship. They talked about their leadership. Those are things we should look out for rather than picking exactly what the person was saying, because we have different stories, we have different experiences, and we have different ambitions. I think that is really, really great. And also, once you write your statement or cover letter, personal statement, please share it with someone to read through, because have that second and third eye from another person to critique you and also tell you how you need to improve. But don't expect them to write for you, because that they're not you. They don't speak for you. So always share with someone in the family, some your friend, or someone who maybe might be a bit in terms of like knowing scholarships and applications and grammar and writing. Someone might be higher than you. Share with them and get their comments, and sleep, wake up tomorrow, look at it again, keep looking at it. Okay, there's another question that I thought maybe Mary or Aaron could answer. So someone is talking about, it's a very smaller question, but important. Someone is talking about, I don't know where I saw it, but I just remember it in my head. I saw it in the chat. So you don't have the degree certificate yet, but you're applying. Maybe you've started applying when you've not yet graduated. So how do you go about those documents that may be missing because you've not yet graduated, or some of us who started from Macquarie University, maybe they have not yet released the documents. So how do you go about that? You're on mute, Mary.
And I switched off my camera. Wow. Sorry, that question was for me, right?
You can pick it up if that's okay, if you know, or Aaron
Okay,
can pick it up.
it was on someone who hasn't finished the studying and they're
Oh,
applying
you've
for.
not yet received some
Yes.
key documents that they need, for example, the degree certificate, the transcript, the original transcript. How do you go about?
Well, wow. I honestly wouldn't know how to advise you on that. And I guess Tina will be the best because she's part of the, yeah, I think it would have been good if she would have given her brief presentation on requirements Shivning has. I can't
I
really
am
answer.
back now. I'm back.
Oh, yeah.
I am.
She's back.
Okay.
Thank you,
Can
Tina.
we dive
I don't want
into
to.
Tina before anything happens again?
Yeah.
Okay, I am sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Normally, technology is kinder to me. I just don't understand what has happened today. So, as I said earlier, Shivning is an equitable scholarship program. So, regardless of your age, background, or profession, Shivning will welcome you into the family. And it covers your tuition, your entire stay in the UK, including a monthly stipend that covers your accommodation and any miscellaneous costs like meals, etc. That's the beauty with Shivning. And there's really no other funny costs attached to it, unlike other scholarship programs where you need to pay like an application fee or that kind of thing. The only disclaimer I have regarding Shivning is for anybody who wants to study an MBA, the maximum Shivning will give you is £22,000 to cover your MBA scholarship program. Whatever difference there is for your MBA program, you need to find either another sponsor or self-sponsor the balance of your MBA. But other courses, whether engineering, law, human rights, journalism, Shivning will cover the entire tuition fees. Shivning is not just about what you learn in the classroom. Shivning boasts the best networking opportunities and sessions. Shivning opens you up to the best minds in the world. It opens you up to the brightest minds in the world. Through talks, through events, through debates, through conferences, through seminars, you name it. As we speak, Shivning has over 50,000 alumni who are revered and respected in their respective fields and sectors. In Uganda alone, we are proud to have over 270 alumni as we speak, and that number continues to grow every other day. And through the Shivning program, as a scholar, if you get the chance to be part of the Shivning family, ensure you exploit and leverage on the opportunity that Shivning will grant you. Take up volunteering opportunities, take up internship placements, participate in as many events as you possibly can, because you will learn from others, you will benchmark, you will hear best practices of how things are done in your sector from other scholars from all over the world, and come back and apply that here in Uganda. There is so much one can gain and learn from the Shivning scholarship program. And that's the beauty with Shivning, like I said, the skill set that you're opened up to in all ranges of fields is really the backbone of this program. It's what makes the program stand out. So you know that once you join the Shivning family, you will be counted amongst the best in the world, amongst the brightest in the world, amongst future influencers, future change makers who are going to make a positive difference to Uganda. I want to talk about the application itself, because I've heard my fellow panelists speak a lot about it, and it's very important that I emphasize some points that they've raised. Pay attention to your application form, especially the essay sections, the 4 sections: leadership and influencing, networking. Why are you studying why do you want to study in the UK, and your career plan? Each section has a word limit of 500 words. Stick to the 500 words. In the chat earlier, I said, use those sections to sell yourself, to market yourself, to demonstrate your potential, to display what you've achieved thus far in your respective career. Be honest, please. Do not overhype yourself when you know you've not achieved certain things, because you'll be caught out eventually by Shivning if you're dishonest in your application. So under leadership and influencing, what do you need to do there? Explain. Please remember, the Chevening process is one of the most transparent processes you'll ever find in terms of scholarship programs. They are judging you on paper. These are the committees, the reading committees that go through your applications, don't know you from a bar of soap. They don't have any background to who you are and what you've achieved. So they are judging you purely on paper and on what you have written. So leadership and influencing, please explain how you have professionally led from the front in the past. And being a leader doesn't mean you're a manager in your organization or you're a director or a CEO. No. Being a leader can mean that you've influenced a decision in your workplace, or you've spearheaded a direction in a certain direction because you've seen things have not worked out according to how they're supposed to be working out. So you need to display or explain your leadership and influencing skills to the reading committee. Explain to them, provide examples of your leadership skills in the past, but please give us examples from university onwards, from university to where you are now. Don't tell us about primary or high school, how you were prefect or anything. We want to hear from university onwards. So there, give us at least 2 professional, strong examples and explain thoroughly where your role came in as a leader in that thing. Normally, under leadership and influencing, it's important to use the STAR approach. STAR stands for, what was the situation? Explain the situation to the reader. What was the task at hand? What was required for you to do what you had to do? What action did you as an individual take? And then lastly, what was the result? That's what the STAR approach needs you to do. Explain the situation, tell us the task that was at hand, tell us the action you did, and lastly, what were the results? Explain to the committee the kind of leader you are. Make sure that they understand that you're a leader who leads from the front. You influence people to believe in your mission and your vision, but in a polite way, without compromising others around you. So you need to explain what kind of leader you are in that respect. Give 2 strong examples to strengthen your answer and to strengthen your chances of getting the scholarship. Networking, similar to leadership and influencing. Again, explain to the reading committee, how do you mobilize and bring people together? What kind of networking sessions have you been involved in? A lot of scholars have talked about circles, organizing conferences, starting up NGOs, etc., etc. Those are really, really great examples. But you need to take the reader through a journey. Explain in the 500 words that you have, what did you do? Why was this important to you then? How is it important to you now? What effect has it had? What are the results of whatever you've started or whatever you did? Show that journey through storytelling, through the STAR approach again. And if you give 2 strong examples, again, your chances are very, very high of getting the scholarship. Study in the UK is where a lot of scholars fail for some reason or another. People think when they're asking you, why do you want to study in the UK? You are saying you want to meet the Queen. You can't wait to watch a Manchester United versus Chelsea match. No, that is not what the reading committee wants to see. They don't want to see such answers. You may want to do those things, that is fine. But under this section, you need to show and demonstrate that you've done thorough research on your university that you've applied to and the courses that you are going to do. And you're explaining in that section how those choices are going to help you achieve your career goals as an individual. Why do those courses help you in your respective career path? So talk at length on that section about the university. For example, it's the best university in the media and communication sphere. It has the best lecturers who've, etc., etc. So try and do thorough research under universities, the universities you've applied to, and the courses you are going to do and how they speak to your career path. You can talk about the rich cultural experience you will have in the UK, because the UK does boast a rich cultural experience. for visitors and scholars and anyone else who is there. Career plan is now where the UK, where Shivling will see what influence you are going to have in Uganda on your return from your studies. So here you need to explain what is your short-term, mid-term, and long-term career goal. Where do you see yourself in the next 1 year when you come back from the UK? Where do you see yourself in the next 3 years and in the next 5 years? Under this section, please be realistic, but also at the same time be ambitious. So don't tell them that you're going to become, I don't know, the president of Uganda, for example. That is ridiculous. Okay, it's possible maybe, but try to be a bit practical in your answer. Importantly, please do not talk selfishly under this section that, oh, when I come back from the UK, I'm going to get a promotion in my organization and I'll become the director of my department. No, you need to show that you are concerned with the issues and challenges Uganda has at the moment in your respective sector or field of interest. You need to say that, for example, Uganda has not tackled climate change effectively. It's not the only country that has not tackled climate change effectively. But because I want to study climate change and environmental management, I feel my expertise, my knowledge will aid Uganda in XXY area in its proposal or tackling climate change in the country, for example. So identify an area where Uganda is struggling or challenged at the moment that speaks to your career goals, obviously, and that speaks to the courses you're applying to at the respective universities, and then explain how you are going to be the change, how you are going to impact, how you are going to make a positive difference in that respective sphere. Because ultimately, like I said, Shivning wants future global leaders, change makers, people who are going to influence for the better good for Uganda. So you need to explain how you will do that through the skills that you're going to gain in the UK. And make sure under this career plan section to speak at more with a community lens, not with a selfish lens that I will. No, say through my experience and knowledge, I believe I will support, I will aid my community through X, Y, and Z in order to achieve X, Y, and Z. So those are the interests that Shivning wants to see under that section of career plan. A lot of scholars look at the SDGs because a lot of what UK and Uganda priorities are linked to the SDGs. That's a good point I could raise as well, that you could look at in the event that you want to align your answer along the SDGs. That's fine, but identify one area. You can't put your basket in so many eggs and expect to be a miracle worker. As I said, be realistic under that section and you will shine and you will soar. And the other thing I need to mention, which is quite important that a lot of people take for granted of, someone talked about plagiarism, I think. Please don't plagiarize. Do not copy and paste somebody's previous application form. Please be authentic, be yourself, be proud of who you are. Show these people that you have potential to be somebody in the future. You know, you might not be somebody now in quotes in terms of like somebody who is like well known, but you will be well known in the future because Shivning has given you a platform or an opportunity to become well known. So please be authentic in your application, because if you lie, you will be caught out at one point, which will be a very disappointing thing for yourself and for the Shivning family as well. Do not apply last minute. It's a very bad move. I know as Ugandans like last minute applications. It doesn't work for Shivning. That's why they give you 3 months to do thorough research, to talk to alumni, to attend sessions like these, to listen to other people's experiences, to learn, to edit, to immerse yourself and just embrace the scholarship program. So just start on your application, ask someone to read it, proofread it, but don't expect another person to write your essay for you. That's unacceptable. This is your personal story. It's your personal journey. So it has to come from you. Another person will just advise you on spelling errors, grammatical errors, but their role is not to tell somebody else who you are. The best person to do that is you. So sell yourself, market yourself on paper, because the first 2-3 rounds of the Shivning program, you are judged purely on paper. So make sure that the person appreciates who you are on paper, on what you've said on paper. There's a lot of support available for you through social media. Shivning has so many tutorials. You can check out UK in Uganda on Twitter and Facebook. There are so many tutorials. There's the Shivning Uganda page for the alumni of Uganda as well. And then there's Shivning FCDO, the global Shivning social media pages as well, that have so many tutorials. And of course, people like Rose and McLean and others who are organizing wonderful sessions like these. Attend as many as you can, learn from others, call upon alumni, but don't expect them to write for you your essay or to rewrite it for you. No, give them something to work with, to then advise you accordingly. But please demonstrate, give examples to back up your answers. Don't give a shopping list. I'm hardworking, I'm personable, I'm likable. We don't want that. Explain how you've become a leader, or what makes you a leader, or what have you done to make you a leader, or to be seen and perceived as a leader. What makes you a networking expert? Show, demonstrate, give examples of what you did. And trust me, you will be jetting off to the UK next year in September, and the sky will be the limit. And I can't wait to see you all when you accomplish all those dreams. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Tina. That was great. McLean, you wanna pick up from there?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mary, for this wonderful insight about the Chevening Scholarship. I think we can go straight into the Q&A for her. Guys, if you have any questions, please post them in the chat or raise your hands. I'll go first because I have a question. So Mary, Tina, once you've been accepted for this scholarship and you are unable to go for some reason, is it extended? Can it be extended, or that's a lost call?
Yes, you can defer. If you are accepted, let's say this year, for example, 2021, and for some reason you can't go, you can defer to the next year, which will be 2022. But in 2022, you can't defer again. If you withdraw, then you are completely withdrawn from the scholarship. So you must make sure that if you defer, take it up the second time when the opportunity is open. Otherwise, it will become a withdrawn application. Thank you.
Okay, Ishan, could you please unmute yourself and go ahead and ask your question?
Yes, thank you so much. So my question is to Tina ma'am. So ma'am, I'm in my final year undergraduation from India. I will graduate in June, July, and I'll only get my graduation degree certificate in July. But I reckon that Shivning requires us to submit our degree certificates in May and April beginning. So does that mean that I cannot apply for Shivning this year?
So now the thing with Shivning is you need to attach all the documents that are needed from you at the time of application or by the deadline of the application. Otherwise, your application will it will be disqualified, because in other words, you do not meet the criteria. You're not eligible in courts. And one of the things that Shivning emphasizes on is you must have an undergraduate certificate by the time of application or by the time you apply. And you must have a minimum of 2 years working experience. So you need to ensure, sir, that you have that certificate by the time you apply, by the 2nd of November. Otherwise, your application will fall under the disqualified section.
Thank you. I hope, Ishan, that answers your question. Flavia, could you please unmute yourself and ask your question?
Thank you very much, Madam. I want to thank all the speakers tonight. And I'm very glad that I was shared this link to be part of this. I've already liked what I'm hearing. I have questions because I've ever applied, but somewhere I had to go off because of some things they needed. I also didn't understand what happened there, but it was somehow disqualified. Number one, I would like to know, must all my transcripts or the papers that I submit when filling the chevening forms, must they be certified? Like if I have a university transcript, do I have to first have it certified that chevening will accept it? Then number two, on my academic documents, I have two names, like I'm Narule Flavia, but I'm now married. So I have three names on my passport. And somewhere they will require me also to submit that. So I would also like to know, is that also something that they look at very much? Because the university papers or the other papers, maybe certificates from university, are having two names, yet I'm using three now as we talk. Number three, I didn't hear any panelists talk about the education department. Where do I belong? I'm a teacher by profession, a high school teacher. But I also want to maybe go to another course because of what I'm now engaged in. So I don't know whether they can admit me if I want to, for example, do a master's in law or social work, and I want to cross from being a teacher to go to those professions. Can you please advise me on that? Because I'm very much interested. Thank you very much. May the Lord bless you.
Amen.
Okay.
Tina, you want to pick up on some of the questions?
Yeah, sure. And maybe the other panelists can also come in if I've left anything out. Under the certified certificates, I would advise that that's done, yes, because it avoids back and forth between you and Shivning, and even potentially your application becoming disqualified because maybe your papers don't look authentic or something. So I'd highly recommend that if your certificates are not certified, get them certified, or at least let them have the authentic stamps, the seals from the respective universities, so that at least that is your backup. And also your references as well. Someone talked about references, like one of your lecturers maybe could be one of your references, academic references, to show that really you did indeed go to that university, you studied that course, and you got the degree at the end of the day, just to back up the certificate that you've also attached to your application. Your names, the difference in your names. I don't think that's so much of an issue, to be honest. I think it just requires maybe at some point, depending on the progression of your application through the Shivning journey, either through your, let's assume you've done the interview, you have passed, and now you've even been shortlisted and chosen for Shivning. You'll get what we call a program officer, someone who is attached to you, who will help you and support you throughout the Shivning process. That person might ask you, okay, I realize you have different names. Why is that the case? You can attach your marriage certificate, maybe a letter from a lawyer to affidavit saying that you've changed names, but you're still the same person. But Shivning pays most attention to your passport, what your passport says, your names on your passport, and also on your, how do you call it, on your certificates. That's where the main interest really is for Shivning. If you achieve other accomplishments after you get married, that's also fine. It's you're happy. We're happy for, as Shivning, we're happy for you to also attach those documents as well, because it's clear and obvious that you know you have you've gotten married. The last one is I think the trickiest one. You are a teacher, you said, and now you want to cross to another sector. Shivning will ask you 30,000 questions. Because remember I said you have to be realistic. I'm not trying to make you be less ambitious or to make you not, be adventurous with other sectors. But what I'm trying to say is, Shivning, you will need to really highly justify in your essays how you are going to transition from being a teacher to a lawyer, for example. How are you going to practically make that work? How are you going to infiltrate the sector? How are you going to make a difference in the sector? How are, they're going to ask you so many questions. It's going to become
a mountain for you to climb to explain how you're going to really leverage on the new sector that you're joining. So you have to be very clear in your transition, how you're going to accomplish that. So it goes down to how you're going to show and demonstrate that, yes, you might be a teacher now, but maybe through your networking, maybe you have friends, I don't know. I'm just using that as an example. But you have to explain how you're going to transition from your current career to the next career, and to still show that you still make an impact in your new career, even though you don't have any experience in your new career. I hope that answers your questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tina. And I hope, Flavia, your questions have been answered. So there is Kevin, Elise Kevin. I don't know, you're also raising up your hand. Yes.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, McLean. Thanks, McLean. Thank you, team, for organizing the call. It's quite insightful. I have a question regarding the application process. So what if I haven't yet secured an admission to, say, I think I saw you can list 3 universities of choice, and I haven't yet secured an admission from any of those. Can I still get the scholarship? And if so, what's the dynamics around that? Say I get the scholarship and I've still not yet gotten the admission. How would that work?
All right, so the Shielding Scholarship Program at the beginning stage does not require you to have an admission from any of those 3 universities. But you need to indicate on your application form that you've applied, you've at least started the step of applying to the respective universities. You need to demonstrate that, yes, you've applied to, example, University of Manchester for a course in media communications, for example. You need to be clear in your application form that you've done that. You've applied to 3 universities, you've identified 3 courses at the different universities, and these are the courses you want to do. Now, even if by the time the deadline of application reaches and you haven't yet gotten an admission from any of them, it is fine. It normally takes about 2 to 3 months or even longer to get an admission from any of the universities. However, every year by around March, April, we normally do the interviews for the shortlisted Shielding scholars of the previous year. So what would happen in the event that you are shortlisted and are called for interview? At the interview, they will ask you, have you received an unconditional offer from any of the 3 universities you applied to? And hopefully by then you would say yes. If not, that's not the end of the world. However, there is a deadline upon which you need to have received an application from at least one of the universities you have applied to. And the deadline for this next cycle is 14th of July, 2022. So in the event that things go well for you, you are shortlisted for interview, you pass the interview very well, Shielding says we want to select you for the scholarship. By the 14th of July, through your program officer, you need to have ensured you have submitted all the pending documents as proof that you've been accepted at least to 1 university of the 3 universities that you have applied to. As a follow-up to that, it's not a direct answer to your question, but as a follow-up, let's assume the 3 courses you've applied to, none of them have given you an admission, and for some reason you want to change. At interview, the judges will ask you, are there any changes you want to make to the 3 universities you applied to? That is your last chance or opportunity to say, yes, I want to change because I don't feel like I'm going to have a chance at any of the 3 universities. Then you can tell the judges that I've changed. I no longer want Manchester University of Manchester, for example. I want the University of Leeds as an example. But you must make sure that you've applied to the University of Leeds, and that hopefully by the 14th of July, you have an admission from at least one of the other 3 universities you've applied to. So you can change. It doesn't mean that because you put the 3 on the form, it's the end of the world. You have to get at least 1 admission. You can change, but the last opportunity to change is at the interview. After the interview, you can't change any further. And you need at least 1 offer from any of the universities you've applied to by the 14th of July, 2022. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
I have one more question in the chat. It's from Clarence. He's asking, he did his undergrad over 10 years ago. Does he still qualify for the Chevron scholarship?
Absolutely, 100%. The Cameroon last year sent a 67-year-old woman, 67, for Chevening. The reason I tell this story a lot is because that just shows you that you can achieve your dreams at any time in life. There's no time limit to anything. 67-year-old, remember how long ago had she finished her undergrad? She was in her 20s. 40 years later, she's going for Chevening. So yes, even if you got it 10 years later, or 10 years earlier, sorry, you can apply for Chevening. It's just that it depends on the sector that you're in. There are some tests they might make you do, like prelim tests. That's dependent on your university. They might make you do some prelim tests. Like I know for lawyers, if you did your undergrad like 10 years earlier, they might make you do like a pre-entry test or something like that. Once you pass it, then you move on and they'll give you your acceptance letter like that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Sorry.
There is another
So
hand.
I just wanted to add on Tina, and I was just going to say, if you follow the UK in Uganda Twitter account, you see they've been posting videos. There's someone I saw that recently got a scholarship. I was like, wow, this is so amazing. He's kind of I don't want to say old man, but according to the age group I'm seeing here, he's quite old. And I was like, there's a lot of motivation that you get from seeing how other people that actually manage to get through. So if you follow and see that Twitter handle, you'll see a lot of other people that have managed to get through, and maybe you could get motivation from there. Meninist has been raising the hand for a long time. Please unmute and say something. Oh, thank you so much, Mary.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Reynold, and my question to Tina is, in Uganda, we know the dynamics of employment and fresh graduates looking for employment and all this and all. And yet she talked about Chevening requiring 2 years of experience. I think that's post-undergraduate experience. Is it necessarily that the experience has to be in what you studied, or can it be any experience that is outside what you studied? And we also know that students that are done with graduation engage in volunteer and internship or training engagements or contracts. Are those considered, or they want full-time contracts? Someone who is really fully employed and trusted by an organization, because sometimes you find that training and the training and the internships, really there's not really a much change in the work. So are those considered? And another follow-up question to what you just finished submitting: how early would you encourage someone to start applying to these universities, even before they apply for Chevening? Can I start applying to universities right now and hoping that I'll also be accepted for Chevening, or should I wait to first get the scholarship so that I start applying, or it's really upon me? Yeah, those are my two questions.
Thank you so much, sir. First question was around employment. The beauty with Chevening is, regardless of whether your employment status was a voluntary status, intern status, temporary capacity, or permanent capacity, as long as your working hours equate to 2 years or longer, that they consider that as working experience. And the working experience doesn't have to necessarily be after you've completed your undergraduate degree. A lot of students in Uganda work while they study. So it is possible for you to include the other side gigs you might have had, maybe in your university days, to show that you have at least working experience that amounts to 2 years. So even if you're not attached to a reputable, in quotes, company, it is fine as long as you can demonstrate that you have a minimum of 2 years working experience. Somewhere in your application form, they'll ask you for the list of places you've worked at and the hours. And those hours need to compute to 2 years or longer to demonstrate that you do have enough working experience to take up this this scholarship program. Then the question around, you asked about admissions, I think it was?
Yeah, I was asking how early enough should one start applying to the universities? Should they wait after the scholarship when they confirm receiving the scholarship, or should they start before so that they have information later early enough?
I would suggest you apply simultaneously while you're applying for Shivning. As I mentioned earlier, somewhere in the application form, the Shivning application form, they're going to ask you what are your 3 university choices and course choices in order of ranking. So you need to input the universities you have applied to and the courses you want to study at the universities in that section. You can't leave that section blank because you are anticipating, think about it like you're anticipating that at least one of those 3 will grant you an admission letter at some point throughout this journey. So it's very important that you, as I said earlier, I hope I said it, but you need to research thoroughly the universities that Shivning is affiliated to and the courses that Shivning is willing to sponsor or fund through the Shivning journey. Then you check the respective universities. Check to see whether you meet the university's requirements for that specific course that you want to do. If you do meet the requirements, then do apply to those universities independently, but do so simultaneously as you're applying for the Shivning scholarship. Think about it like as though you're anticipating that you will get at least one of the 3 to grant you an admission at some point. But like I said, it's not the end of the world. Even if by the time you're applying for Shivning, you don't have an admission from any of the 3, still apply, wait for a response from the universities as your application for Shivning is going through the respective steps and rounds and processes. If you're called for interview and you're asked at interview if you got at least one admission letter from the 3 you've applied to, and thankfully you have, you say yes. But if you haven't, that's the last chance you can say, no, I'd like to actually change one of my universities to X university and the course to X course. But you make sure that by the time you're called for interview, you have all that information in your head to then share with the judges so that they can make the necessary changes for you on the system. But by the 14th of July, if you fail to submit at least one unconditional offer from the university, and you've been selected for Shivning, then your application will be withdrawn. Because in other words, you fail to adhere or meet the conditions of the scholarship program, meaning you fail to at least get one university to accept you into their program. So please have all of that in mind while you're doing all this. But I've never seen in the history of Shivning, just to give you some comfort, that a scholar has been denied at least one place in one of the universities. It has never happened ever in the history of the Shivning program. So you shouldn't worry so much about that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Tina. I think we can speak forever. This is a very great event, a lot to learn. I think we should just take 2 questions and then we shall hear from Jonah and then we close the event. So Nathaniel, please go on with your question and we shall pick another question from Mohammed and then we shall close. Sorry for closing when other people still have so many questions. Nathaniel, please.
Just to add on Rose.
Okay.
If you
can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, please go ahead, Nathan.
Okay. From the conversations I've been listening to, I've been looking forward to hearing the mode of application and also the should I say organization in charge, like that actually give out the scholarship to people. And from one of the speakers, I was trying to understand if before I used to think that it is the university that you choose that you want to study that will give you the scholarship. But from one of the speaker, I was kind of listening and So it seems as if it's a different body that will actually grant you the scholarship, and then you now apply and they fund the scholarship. So, but I don't know if I'm actually right. So that is why I'm asking. And if that's the case, we would like to know how to formally, find the scholarship, or where to, or is it that you can apply anytime you like, or there is a period whereby you have to apply, and if you don't apply, then you have to wait for some other time.
Okay. Tina, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I hope I understood his questions. They seemed a bit, the first question was a bit confusing to me. Rose, can you paraphrase, please? What was he trying to ask?
Nathaniel, is there an opportunity, because I also didn't understand, is there an opportunity where you can like reduce the words and just like be more precise and concise and to your question? Unless someone else understood it. McLean, did you get where he was saying?
No, I was communicating with group.
Okay.
Okay, I should rephrase?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm trying to ask that, okay, the organization, like for scholarship application, now you're trying to apply for a scholarship and you have some institutions in mind, and you already applied for admission in these universities, maybe still waiting for acceptance into this university, like giving the person admission first before looking for or going forward to maybe apply for those that will fund the scholarship. So I'm trying to understand that, is it a different body that will fund the scholarship that you get from a different institution? I don't know if you understand. I'm trying to.
Can I rephrase it for you, Tina?
Okay.
Yes, please. But I think I've understood it now.
Okay.
Okay, so there are various sources of funding under the Shivning program. So Shivning itself as a brand or as an organization sponsors a scholar or scholars. And then we also have what we call partner organizations. These partner organizations can come from anywhere. They can come from the host country. They can come globally, wherever. So I'll give an example. Maybe MTN Uganda, as an example, can decide to become a partner organization with Shivning in Uganda and sponsor maybe 1 or 2 scholars, as an example. The third arm of partnership is the university directly. So there are some universities that can say to Shivning, we'll offer maybe 30% tuition waiver, or we'll pay 30% for some students like that, or 50% or 40%, that kind of thing. So those are the 3 different angles or arms of partnership or funding that Shivning gets. Majority of those, however, fall under Shivning directly. There are a few organizations or universities that provide co-funding to Shivning, but they're there, and some of them do co-fund some scholars. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Tina. I think there's a quick one. Someone asking for the legit web link to the Shivning scholarship, and because they want to start applying. So there's the one I shared, but I think if it comes from Tina, I should maybe take it to be more legit. Yes, so Tina, please share the link in this chat box. Mohammed, this is the last question we are taking. I'm so sorry. If you want, you can reach out to us. We can organize another event, but we have to close because we can speak the whole day. Mohammed, please unmute and tell us what your question is, and we move on from there.
Hello, hi everyone out there. Please let me know about the Shivning Scholarship Program. What kind of scholarship program is that? Second one, I am undergraduate student of software engineering. So am I eligible for that scholarship program or not? Third one, if I am eligible for that scholarship program, when is the best time to apply for? Evening Scholarship Program. Thank you.
Thanks, Mohammed. For the questions, Tina, please.
Sure. So Evening is the UK's global scholarship program that offers a one-year master's to any of the UK's prestigious universities. It's been running for the last more than 38 years now. And it supports, identifies future global leaders of tomorrow, people who are going to be change makers in their respective sectors, regardless of the sector you're in: law, journalism, human rights, development, management, engineering. Evening will take you on. It's equitable, it's inclusive, regardless of your profession or age or your background. If you're an undergraduate student and you have a minimum of 2 years working experience, you can apply for the Evening Scholarship, because essentially you are eligible at that point, as long as you have your undergraduate certificate in hand by the time you're applying, because you'll have to upload it on your application form. The best time to apply is now, Mohammed. Why should you even wait? Immediately after this webinar, please get onto the website. I've put it in the chat. Apply. The deadline is 2nd of November, 2021. I mentioned to everybody, do not apply last minute, because when you apply last minute, you get confused, you panic, you make mistakes. You need to do a lot of research with Evening. Actually, the test with Evening starts now, right now. How much research have you done? How much do you know? How much do you understand? How much have you understood? Not just about the scholarship program, but also about the universities and courses. And most importantly, how are you going to sell yourself? How are you going to demonstrate that you're Evening material, you're Evening, you can be part of the Evening family. So start now, don't delay, don't wait. Your future is waiting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tina. And I think I'm so sorry. There's this question. I feel bad to leave Timothy. Timothy, if it's very short, please say it, and then we move. I'll feel really bad to leave your hand up. Please unmute and say your question. We're not expecting another question. Let's hear from Timothy.
Thank you very much, Rose. I'm glad that you've chosen me to give the last question. This last question tackles the issue I have been having, because most UK universities want you to pass through the university and colleges admission service, which is okay. Transforming it to our standards, our education standards and all may be tricky, or even having those papers or documents is tricky. Most especially reaching the embassies, all that stuff. It's a headache. How did you, the people who were successful in getting this scholarship, how did they manage? And also the other issue is, can a person with a second class lower degree actually, can they win this scholarship? And also, if it was your advice, Rose, what would be the best university to apply for things to do with law and economics? That's possible.
Okay, Tina, could you pick up on the questions that are in Evening, and then I'll see how to answer that other question.
Sure. If Mary or Aaron are still on the call, I'd like them to answer the first question about the admissions in the universities and all that stuff. But I'll tackle the second question he asked about second degree, second lower. Now, it goes back to the universities you have identified and the courses you want to study for. It goes back to the requirements of the university and those respective courses. As I said earlier, research, thoroughly read the eligibility criteria from those respective universities. You'll be surprised that a lot of them will take you on, even with your second lower. It doesn't mean you have to have a second upper, but most of them, yes, I have to admit, do accept second upper and above, but there are some that surprisingly might take a second lower. So go back, research, identify, see where you can meet the requirements and where you're eligible for at the respective universities. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Tina. I really don't know how to answer the other question, Timothy. I guess from my own experience, when I was applying, I kind of balanced to balance the universities, looked for a university where what I want to study is. So my best course was at the University of Oxford. So I applied to the University of Oxford, but I found I wanted to balance between big universities and medium or maybe other universities, because the competition at Oxford is too much, like so I tried to balance and went to other big universities, of course, but in comparison, so I tried to balance it out. But what I did is look out, where is my course? What do I want to study and where is that course? So I tried to look out. For example, if you checked University College London and you look at, oh, what courses do I have? Do I want to do this course at University College London, for example? I want to go to our Newcastle, do they have this course that I want here? And then once you apply to the university, once the university accepts you, it does depend on how the university does the scholarship program. But most of them, once they admit you, they have other scholarships where they can actually, if it's not Chevening, where they can actually recommend you. And then the university itself will find for you scholarships. And then just like how mine happened, I didn't apply for the scholarship I got. I was just selected by the university and then they gave me the funding. So you have to look up for the universities you want. You can look at the ranking or the Times ranking and stuff, world ranking, and see what university does the best in which course. So I'm not very aware of law and finance and economics, but if you looked at that rank, you could get an idea of which university is best in which kind of field. But yeah, I guess now let's close the Q&A from here. It's been great having you. I think we have someone from Opportunity Tracker, a team member from Opportunity Tracker, to give us a word about Opportunity Tracker and the fundraising and maybe how to keep in touch with us if you want another kind of intensive or smaller group discussion about application.
Please come on. He's our co-founder. Please introduce yourself and take on the discussion.
Jonah and your team.
Okay. All right. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Agbaje Ayomide, the co-founder of Opportunity Tracker from Nigeria. And thank you all for attending our scholarship application masterclass. It was really our huge pleasure hosting you to this exciting discussion about your scholarship journey. So some of you have requested and we have deemed very necessary. We'd like to offer some of you who may be interested a one-on-one mentorship program, which we'll be organizing and we'll be matching you with our scholarship expert. So right now, I'll be releasing a link for whoever is interested in joining our scholarship one-on-one mentorship program. We can always enroll and indicate your interest. And also, as Rose has told you guys earlier, we are a very young platform, Opportunity Tracker, and we are burdened with our running costs. We need funding, and we will gladly appreciate if you can share our fundraising link with your friends, your countries, with your classmates, with whoever you think that believes in our impact mission to donate to our cause. So right now, I'll be sharing the link to join our application masterclass to you.
Yes, he's sharing the link. Can I share it or you have it?
All right, so here's the link to the scholarship application masterclass. Can you guys see it there?
Yes.
It's actually a Google form. So here's a link for you to indicate your interest in our scholarship mentorship program we promise you that this mentorship is going to be very, very impactful, and it will help you gain clarity on your scholarship application journey, because we believe that acing your scholarship application goes beyond just coming to a session and listening to talks. So it largely depends on how well you apply the tips and insights we give you. So we believe that a private mentorship will be very much required, and for some of you, you may need experts to review your applications to help you figure out the right schools to apply to in the UK. Like Rose said and Madam Tina said, you need to know the right universities and the right courses for you to be able to convince the judges that you are the right one to be given this scholarship. So in this mentorship, we'll be able to offer you expert guidance and give you rich insights on how to scale your scholarship journey. Also, we also hold regular meetups with you, having discussions with you, following your progress, tracking your progress, recommending various tips for you, and we're just offering you resources in the program. So we hope you will be able to sign up for our mentorship program and have an amazing time. So my colleague Jonah will also share the fundraising link to you all for you to be able to share with others who may be interested in donating to our cause. So thank you so much, and keep following our social media pages for updates on our upcoming events, because we have a whole lot in stock for young people across the world, because we believe that for you to get the right opportunities, most times it goes beyond the information you get on all these opportunity websites. So you need to know how to draft the right application, how to the tricks behind what a winning application takes. So we are ready to guide you in the journey and not just leave you alone with the information about these opportunities. We want to give you the hacks, the tips on how to ace them and convince the recruitment committee or the review committee on how you can get this
Welcome to
opportunity. So we
voiceover.
already
Welcome to voiceover.
All right, so that was it. So, and my colleague Jonah has sent you the fundraising link on earfunding.net. So you can click to read through our story and donate to our cause, share with your friends. And also, after this session, we appreciate that you share what you've learned on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, or on Instagram story. You can share what you learned from our session and tag us. Just keep the conversation going about scholarship application. Thank you so much for attending, and don't forget to sign up if you be interested in our mentorship program. Don't forget to sign up through the Google form, and we look forward to having you during our next event. Thank you so much. And thank you, Rose. Thank you, McLean, for the great job in hosting our masterclass. So thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll just add a little word there. They have shared the link where you can get in touch if you want a more intensive kind of program. It may be, just heads up, it may be a bit costed to just pay back people's time, because it will be a little bit depending on the time you want with the people. So that's the link he's sharing. But the other link that Jonah has shared is about the crowdfunding. The opportunity tracker doesn't have any funding, but there's a lot of time and effort and everything and maintenance, paying for maintenance of the website that needs money. And we're trying, if you feel that this event was helpful, it was free. Most people cost for such events. So please donate to the page, and it will be really helpful and to support the team to start organizing many other helpful events and campaigns and everything. So I'm sorry I have to leave, and thank you all for attending, and it's been great to co-host this event, and you've been an amazing, very amazing audience. So if we turned on our cameras and maybe took a screenshot and to just let's remember that we had this event, I think that would be great. Those ones, any of you could take a screenshot, because I'm not in position to take a screenshot right now. But if you took a screenshot and shared it with us, it would be great. And I personally shared my contacts, my LinkedIn and Twitter in the chat box. You can follow me, and if you want to get in touch about anything. Yes, so I'll hand over to Maclean to close the session, and yeah.
Yes, so let's all turn on our cameras.
Maclean, we can't hear you. You're speaking at a very low tone. I don't know what has happened.
Okay, am I more audible right now?
Nope.
Jonah?
You're whispering?
Okay, Jonah, are you able to take a screenshot? Jonah?
Yes, hello, McLean.
Are you able to take a screenshot?
Yes.
Yeah, please, because I'm recording, I can't take a screenshot. So please, everyone, turn on your cameras, smile, give us your beautiful faces of this event.
Let's all turn on our cameras if we can. If that's okay.
Okay, yes, I'm taking in 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we are done.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for everyone who has made the time to participate in this event. Please do follow Opportunity Tracker on our social media. We have a lot of opportunities we usually post on a daily basis, so please don't miss out on that. I hope this event has been as fruitful as we had anticipated it to be. And we're looking forward to being in touch with you guys. We've shared a Google form for you to fill. We can always have a one-on-one session, reach out. If you have any questions, please reach out. Bye, guys. Thank you for being here.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
When will be the next meeting?
Guys, you're free to leave.